this is Rod with Rock Jam Guitar, and today we're gonna be covering this awesome song here. We're gonna divide this into a couple of parts to make this a little bit easier. So the first part is our little intro, where we're gonna play the 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D, back to the 5th fret of the A, and then 9th fret of the G, which is kind of a good stretching exercise there, right? So far we have this. Okay, then we're gonna catch the 7th fret of the G, and then back to the 5th fret of the A. So every after note, we always kind of go back to that 5th fret of the A string there. Then we're gonna have a 4th fret of the D and hammer on the 5th fret, and then catch the 5th fret of the G. And we do that twice. Then 7th fret of the A, back to the 5th fret of the A. So everything a little bit slower. So you repeat that riff a couple of times. The only tiny difference is that at the very beginning, the first 2 times, you start with the 5th fret of the A, and then after that you slide to it. Okay, so that's the tiny little difference. If you want to do the slide, great. If you do not want to do the slide, it does not make a lot of difference. And then towards the end of the intro, you do have that little variation there that goes like this. Just repeating that first time, half of that first time, right? So we have 5th on the A, 7 on the D, 5th on the A, 9 on the G, 5th on the A, 7 on the D, and then you repeat that twice. And then you're gonna have a 5 on the A, 7 on the D, 5 on the A, finishing this on a D power chord here, okay? That's the intro of the song. Then on the second part, we're gonna have these parts here. Which is nothing more than 5 on the D, 7 on the G, we do that twice, then 5 on the G, 5 on the D, and then another 7 on the G. Okay, then we jump to the second chord here, which is gonna be 6 on the A, 8 on the D, 6 on the A again. Okay, then a little stretch to catch the 10th fret of the G, 8th fret of the G, 8th fret of the D now, and then we're gonna end that to the 10th fret of the G string. Okay, kind of a very good coordination exercise in a way. Then the next part, it's absolutely the same thing, just one string up. So now we have, so 6 on the low E, 8 on the A, 6 on the low E, 10 and 8 on the D, 8 on the A, and 10 on the D string. Okay. And then the very last part of this is going to be 5 on the A string, 7 on the D, 7 on the G, back to that 7 on the D, ending again on that D power chord. Okay, then we go to that little pre-chorus part, which is just power chords. Let's divide this in groups of 4s to make this easier. So the first group of 4 is gonna be G, D sharp, A sharp, and F. The second group, C, G sharp, D sharp, and A. Second group. The third third group of fours is gonna be A, F, C, and G. And then the last group of fours for this pre-chorus is gonna be D, A sharp, F, and C. So everything we have. And then here comes the chorus, which is D, A sharp, F, and C, and you repeat that a couple of times. That is the entire song, aside of the solo, which we actually gonna take a look at it right now, okay? We're gonna create a little version of this solo here, which to make it easier, let's divide this into 4 tiny little parts here. The first one, we're gonna get the 3rd fret of the low E, and do a little bend on that. Then we're gonna get the 3rd fret of the A, and slide to the 5th fret. That's gonna be the first part. Okay? Then on the second part, it's gonna be like this. Which is nothing more than that 7th fret of the D, 9, 7 on the G. Then we have 4th fret of the D string, 5, and 5 of the G, and then 7, 5 on the A. So first part. Second part. Okay? Then on the third part, we're gonna go all the way up to the 17th fret of the G. Do a little bend. Okay? And then we're gonna catch the 15th fret of the B. 17 on the G. 14 on the G. 17 on the D. Back to the 14th fret of the G. So this little passage, we got. Then we're gonna have the 16 of the D, a little bend up and down, and then 17, 15 on the A. Okay, then the last part of this, we're gonna start with the 19th fret of the G, 17 and 18 of the B string, then back to the 19, 17, 18, and 20 now on the B string. So, okay, then back to the 19 of the G, and now 18, 20, and 17 on the high E. Everything so far. Then back to the 20 of the B, 17, 20 on the high E, and then another 20 with a little bending at the end. So this last part.